I'm just gonna have to navigate all of what's connecting. For sure, around you, there's a lady who acknowledges that she feels like she died kind of too soon. The thing is that she feels like she at least got to reach middle age, or at least got to kind of reach around that time frame. And she's like, I got to this point. It's not like I died in my 20s, but I didn't die in my 80s. The feeling that comes through with this, technically, it was more of a feeling of like, when it comes to getting the news of my passing, I feel like not everyone at one point was kind of around or had the opportunity to say goodbye. So when we hear, it's almost like, oh my God, this is a surprise or a shock, because it's almost like I would want to be holding her hand in the moment that she passed.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
She's having me acknowledge a reference to a battle. She's having me talk about the last 6 months of her life, and then she's having me refer to spreading. She has me refer to 4 girls that I need to highlight, but
I can't even breathe.
Where would the 4 girls be total?
There's 4 of them.
Awesome, great. From her perspective, the feeling is like, I think I'm ready to go. I just am not ready to leave my family. And the feeling is, from her perspective, like,
This is crazy.
when I pass, I'm not gonna be worrying about myself because I'm worried about my girls. And she goes,
Oh my gosh, you're so sad, my girl.
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
She's saying, my girls, my girls, my girls. And she's like,
Oh my
I'm okay when I
gosh.
transition, but I'm worried about my girls. I wanna make sure my girls are gonna be fine. And she is having me acknowledge that there's a feeling of, at the time of her passing, the reason why I wanna emphasize this feeling of kind of suddenness is because I don't feel like everybody got to actually
My
be there
sister
in that moment.
didn't. My sister didn't get to say goodbye. I didn't. And so she just never got to say goodbye. Because she was away in college.
Right.
Sorry.
Oh, good.
You said my girl.
Yeah, that's how she views him.
Yeah, so she just didn't get to say goodbye.
He made this for me because
I
he was
know.
an artist.
Yes.
And he made it in art class our senior year. Made me a bear that I could always keep by my bed so I could always see him.
He says you have 2, but he's showing I'm going, hold on. I have to figure this out.
What?
There's 2.
So he's talking, I think, about...
He's pointing at the paw.
You're talking about the 2. Can I pull out my pants?
You can.
Don't worry, I'm only...
No worries.
I got these in memory of him, so he must be talking about my bear
Those
claws.
would be the 2. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
Whoa,
amazing.
okay.
That's insane.
There
Oh
we
my
go.
gosh.
I got those when he passed.
Wow.
So that's what he meant. And he also
Wow.
made these insane...
You're amazing, Tyler.
You were so sweet.
You're insane.
Oh my gosh. He's so connected, and that's such a sweet, amazing object. It's so special.
I keep it by my Mother Mary in my closet.
I love that.
So, and with my grandfathers.
Yes.
All 3 of them are right there
Oh.
with each other.
That's incredible.
That just blew my mind. And the tattoos, like, I mean,
Oh my gosh, when he pointed to the paw and said 2.
ugh, unreal.
Let's see what we get. Give me 1 sec. This is strange. You have like a weird death here coming through, is like the way I need to kind of process this. Whoever this was, and it would have been a female, not a male. I'm also seeing music signs. This is interesting the way this comes across. She's having like, what is this? She'll like joke. This is weird. I don't know what it is. She's like doing this weird hand thing with me. It's like a funny, like a weird, she's just being silly. Someone might go by a nickname. I'm getting a reference to, it's like a name I've never heard before. It'd be like a really unique one.
I think we all know what's going on. Well, most of us.
I don't know this name, but it's funny because she's the type that could have given advice and told everyone, like, get out of that relationship, he's not good for you. But when it came to getting that advice herself, it was much harder.
Oh, that's so true. We used to have to argue for hours. She is not lying. I used to be like, and then she would tell me, well, I just had to argue with you to get my point across. And she was like, I knew an hour ago that you was right. I'm like, what are you doing to me?
That's Lisa.
And then she's referencing to a car accident. And this is interesting because she's placing these 2 together, but she's having me acknowledge that if this had happened in a different country, this wouldn't have happened.
Danger.
But I wouldn't think that it would happen to me in the States. So the reason why I'm going to describe this is if someone is not familiar with the way that we drive in a different country, and as a result we die, had we been on the road and perfectly capable, we might have been able to manage in the United States, you know, somewhere where we might have
I
been
know
enough
what you're
familiar.
talking about because it was only 2 lanes
Right.
when she got in the car wreck.
Right.
And it's the way that the roads are.
Popping in that I have to acknowledge. The feeling is life gets cut too short, or like someone passes away before their time. And when he comes through, he acknowledges a reference to music. He is showing legacy being continued on. And then he is having me reference to like a dedication, but in a musical sense. And it comes through. Now, the interesting thing is he acknowledges this hasn't been done yet. And he feels like he's involved in it. I like it.
It's amazing because right now I'm working on music for him,
Right.
but he's on the record.
That's amazing.
And it's just a beautiful connection, and it's all for the love of him.
That's awesome. Well, I can't wait to hear it. That'll be amazing. And he clearly is really happy about that. That's awesome. There's a reference to what looks like Ellie or Lily. I'm looking at what looks like E and then L and then L and then E is kind of the only way that I would be able to describe it.
You can't be messing with me, Don. Come on, man. You gotta be Googling this stuff, Don, before you come in here, Don. Come on, we're not gonna do this.
What is that?
Talking about Michelle Thomas.
Okay.
She was my old co-star from Family Matters.
Right.
And she died of stomach cancer. Quickly.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
And she had a lot of friends. She had a lot of friends in the music industry. Come on, man, you gotta be Googling stuff, man. This is crazy.
The person coming through who's acknowledging that this feels like my life was taken prematurely in the way this comes across, and so that's a very strong, indication that comes in. There's a whole thing when I'm connecting with this person's energy where I can tell that in life they would have to some extent been preoccupied before they passed with their health or focused on their health, and then I feel like I passed away of something surprising. So it's coming in, but it would have been at kind of a weird age where it would be premature. This is coming in, this is good to keep in mind, it's referencing to an individual. I'm seeing my symbol for college.
If it is, that is insane.
Who this would be referring to is an individual who would be in college, would have but at the time. Just good to keep in mind, they are referencing to a Steven or a Steve connection. I don't know where that fits, but it came in.
It's his middle name.
Oh.
And he died in his dorm room at college. He had epilepsy his whole life and was definitely careful about it, but then he died suddenly the day before his birthday, and I still don't know how he died, but he was my love. He was the cutest boy in school, and I was devastated, just devastated as a young girl, and he was the first young person I knew who died. It just was surreal. Grandparents go, you expect it. It was so out of time.
But what's interesting is I have two distinct energies that I need to kind of highlight, and one I would view as being, very maternal, and the other is very paternal, but they come through separately, not together. Dad's side's kind of trying to pop in. Do you have anyone who has any New Jersey connections on your dad's side?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
My grandmother on my father's side lived in New Jersey, and my father was from New Jersey.
Okay.
I don't know.
Sure. No problem.
So
we'll work with it.
Yeah.
Okay. The thing I want to mention is that he comes through as dad. So is your father actually passed away?
Yes.
Okay. There's two James I have to highlight that I want to mention, but it's connected to that.
My
two James.
I don't know about the second James, but my father's name was James.
Okay. There's an acknowledgement that this man has a very close connection to you, but he's had a closer connection to you on the other side than he ever got to in life, in the way that this comes across. And
Are you sure we've never met before?
I'm pretty sure. That side on your dad's side does have, as all families do, some element of dysfunction. There's an acknowledgement on his end of family that there were multiple alcoholics on multiple generations that I need to highlight.
Am I allowed to talk?
Yeah,
okay.
absolutely.
My father died when I was 2, and my father died very drunk because he was an alcoholic, and he died in a car accident when he was driving.
Wow. Okay.
As I go through this, I'll do the majority of the talking. I'll just communicate everything that I see, hear, and feel, and we'll go from there.
I don't think Tyler knew what he was getting himself into.
And let's meditate. Let's see what comes in. They're immediately having me jump into this, and when it comes to Bobby, there's kind of a reference of wanting to discuss some like family dynamic. He, versus focusing on himself, is focused more on the family and what would have happened before his passing and after his passing. He wants to make sure everyone else is good. He's not really focused on himself. She is having me talk about these three. He's referencing to kids, and I'm a little confused because he's referencing to 3, but then he keeps adding a 4th, and it keeps switching between 3 to 4, 3 to 4, 3 to 4.
Wow.
So do you know what
Do you know how many kids Bobby had?
No clue.
I don't think anybody.
Oh my God.
No one's gonna believe this.